Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Artist and the Thinker podcast. I am the artist,
And I am Terrence B. the Thinker.
and this will be probably a long one because it has layers and layers and still more layers being revealed and uncovered. And it is the infamous Epstein files, but what I like to call, be honest with you, Trump files.
Yeah.
Now, I recently stumbled across a song. Now, it is still up in the air because you have a lot of people divided. You have many of them saying that it's AI, and then you have many people saying no, it's been around for a long time. And this is Lalita's Express. And this song goes into extreme details on a lot of things that are in those files.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for you not to stop and listen, given being a person who may have read it or just being aware of what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sparked a big debate on um on social media by me posting this to a point that I had to do a follow-up video and say, "Hey, this it doesn't matter if the song is AI or it's real. What happened in those files are very real. There's no getting around it.
Mm-hmm.
Those things happen to a lot of victims, and there are survivors who will tell you what happened as well. And when it comes down to some of the atrocious things that has happened and was going on, and unfortunately is still going on in different places, it's just a different person doing it, different people, is with that song, I'm gonna say again, it doesn't matter if it's real or not. What happened was very
Facts.
real. And the more people are looking into it and tying things together, the darker it gets. And yes, we've already touched on this about how a lot of conspiracy theorists were right. And I know many people are saying, well, what do we do now? Right.
Yep.
And I even spoke on that and I said, well, what's your role? Everybody's got a role. Now, you can choose to be on the good side of history, or you can choose to be on the bad side of history. Now, if
Right.
you're planning on being on the good side of history, what do? You can be an informant and inform people because a lot of people don't know. You can choose to be a martyr if you want to be a martyr, or you can be a vigilante and you can be the ones who light the match and burn it down. You pick your poison. It's your rear wagon. You either push it or pull it. But I think for most of us, the best thing we can do is be informants and inform and not let it get swept under the rug. So
Yeah.
many of us, me and you, and many others kept saying, release those files. We said it over and over and over and over again. And now we have them released. Not all of them, but we have a lot of it. A lot of that's enough evidence to prove that what we have been saying for so long was true.
And this is what
And I'm sorry, there's still so many people now who don't know about this. They're not aware of half of the things that is being said, some of the names that have been named. They're not even fully aware, so it's our job to keep it circulating.
you want to know what's
Um,
bad about all of this
hmm,
is what you just said is that people don't know. And I'm like, how do y'all not
People don't
know about
know.
this? With so many people that are involved, how do you not know? And
The
this is
main,
another
because
thing.
if you're not a person who's on social media, like how we are, and your main source of news and information comes from major news
ABC,
outlets,
CNN.
they're not they're not pumping it, they're not pushing the narrative, they're not pushing the story, they're doing everything but that. But if you are someone who, you go to your phone and you're in social media and you're in those right algorithms that put you there. So it's our job to make it be known. And we have to. We have to keep speaking on it. We can't, because what we're doing is doing a disservice to the victims and the survivors. And interestingly so, I came across a video. I'm going to start every time I post anything about it from now on. I am going to put this information up, and it's about human trafficking. It was this she was a survivor of human trafficking, and she really broke it down. She said we have to stop thinking that it's the man in the white van that lures you off. No, it starts in so many places where you being a lost teen who runs away, and they take you and take you along a ride. And she gave the number that you get to help people with human trafficking, and I'll go more in detail with it later. But with right now, we have to remember that there are survivors and victims who constantly have to relive it every single moment of their life when it has been brought to their attention.
Mhm.
And it shouldn't be this hard if people just believed women, if they just believe the victims and the survivors. If you just believe them, we wouldn't have to have gone through these extremes. And I know it looks gloom, and people keep saying, well, nobody's been arrested or no justice is being served. What do we do? I want to burn it down, all those things. Now, there's a time and a place for everything.
Believe it or not.
And I believe that even if, because there are some people, I've jumped in a couple circles, ears to the wind, that I can say you got to have a plan. You got to plan things out. Certain things just don't happen overnight. But one thing you need to pay attention to is how the elites are moving, how some of those people who have been named in it and what is happening. Two good examples: the former Prince Andrew getting arrested.
Mm.
And he looked a hot mess.
He looked like he was in a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Is he gonna talk?"
And then darn Les Wagner, he behind. He was up there
Mhm.
singing like a canary. Now remember, this man is in his 80s, to the point that his attorney had to say,
Nigga,
if
shut the fuck up.
you, yep, he was like, I'm gonna take you out myself if you say more than 5 words when they ask you a question. Just answer what they ask you. Stop going on these long scenic routes saying people's names. I mean, he was just
He was like, there was Brenda, Lisa, Linda, Dawn, Deshawn, Alex, Denise, Cookies, and we got her at an ice cream parlor. About 3 Kims. He was going like
I
DMX.
mean,
Like, oh shit.
but it was good. Trust me, it was a lawyer's dream, or the prosecutor's dream, because he was just going and he was giving what we needed to hear to a
He was
point.
like,
I mean, and you have to look at it. He's at the end of his road, and he knows there's only a couple things gonna happen next. And that's why I say pay attention to them, because they will start folding. Because even though they big and bad doing all this torturing that they have done to people, when their backs get up against
up
the
against the
wall, they will
wall.
do some crazy stuff. You hear me? Some crazy stuff. And watch, they're gonna start singing, and they're gonna start ratting each other out.
You're gonna see how many people have backup strategies for
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna see who all got the in-game strategies. You know what I'm saying? When they
It's
back
about,
against
and we know our boy. We know if this one thing if Trump good for, is screwing everybody up.
Mhm.
you know he he is start. Even though I do think that what's going to happen, quick prediction, might be wrong. I keep saying they're gonna find him just healed over. Just on it, just done gave out. Just
But yeah,
done
they'll
leaned
kill him
over,
before
gave out.
they let him say
But
anything.
I mean, I'm talking about they're gonna find him to shoot over that desk. He gonna be on that desk laid out, just done died from just everything. Because what seems like is going to happen is because his name is in there so much.
Over a million times and counting.
More than God's name is in the Bible, and more than Harry Potter's name is in all 7 books. That would be that. Let me tell you, that right there is my statement of the year. Every time someone hit me with that BS about him not being a part, I'm gonna say that line. Do you hear me? Matter of fact, let me say it again just for the people who didn't hear me. His name is in them files more than God's name is in the Bible, and more than Harry Potter is named in all 7 books about Harry Potter. So,
Just putting that out there for
hard
you.
to say that you ain't had a part in none of this foolishness, which you have because it's there. Which the crazy thing is, those things, some of the things that are in there are not new. Like I knew of the 12-year-old girl that he silenced way before his first election, but people don't talk about it. But
Mm-mm.
anyway, let me not make it about him because you know I will go on a tangent. But I will say it don't need to be Epstein files, it's Trump files. And it's something that he ain't never gonna be able to escape. Because every time he tries to give us the illusions of he's going to start a war, or he throws out terrorists, or he sends his little ICE agents out there to do terror to people and really be the ones
And
who need to be
FYI, the tariffs have been
detained.
stopped. He's trying to put in temporary
Yeah, he's trying
donors.
to do that. But before we jump on him and his foolishness, and you remember he's about to release the files about the aliens. He is willing to do
You used that
every
one
and
already.
anything. He is
When the
willing
aliens in
to
Miami,
do, huh?
he used that already because of the aliens that they saw plainly in Miami, but nobody can find a video of it.
Well, like I said, here's the thing: release the aliens, but guess what? We know it's a distraction because the Epstein files.
Yep.
Let me go steal a president from their country, but we still know about them Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and get war going on Iran. We still know you
What's
trying to
up with them
distract things for
files
Epstein
then?
files. Voter fraud, Epstein files.
Files though.
ICE, Epstein files. Tariffs, Epstein files. I can't stand Obama and let me make him like a money. Epstein file.
Files.
Everything always leads back to it because we know your strategy is to basically take our attention from it because you are all up and through it. So at this point, there is nothing I think Trump can do that is not going to get people from saying, you in them files. You are those files.
Yeah, that's cool. What's up with them files though?
Hmm.
Like, what's up
And
with them
I
files?
believe just as much as now they about to go and do a thorough investigation on the Zorro Ranch. If they do one on Mar-a-Lago, when I say I would be surprised what's buried under there because he all up and through it, and then he keep incriminating himself because one thing about him is he is a chauvinistic, histrionic narcissist that has to be like, look at me, hear me talk. That he will literally get up there because remember he was just recently on US1 and they asked him a question. He said, "But I've already been exonerated, so I'm good." It wasn't exoneration; it was supposed to be exempt, right? So hold up
Yeah.
now. What you talking about there,
Yeah.
sir? What you
Exonerated.
talking about?
It's like you're telling on
So,
yourself. Ain't nobody
oh,
got to say
very
shit.
much.
Just sit there, and be quiet. Just sit there, be
Mhm.
quiet, and be like, "So, Trump, okay, I'm already exonerated." I was like, "What?
Like, I'm like, but you got to be guilty of something,
You
don't
get
you?
guilty of
Don't you,
something?"
sir? Like, so it shows that whether you believe it or not, like, I guess, maybe I'll go ahead and throw this one in there. The look was it Project Looking Glass, right? This just
Yeah.
fits into the narrative of, hey, it's the inevitable. Like, and I think that's where we have to be as a whole, as a collective. We have to be like, we have to do our parts. I ain't saying go out here and do nothing crazy, crazy. Because let me tell you, I believe there are people who have gotten some things together to do something crazy, crazy.
Yeah, and I'm
I
thinking
ain't
it's like you keep pushing
listen,
these
I ain't
people.
judging and I ain't knocking.
I ain't judging. I ain't
Okay,
knocking
get in
either.
my face then. You know, I ain't knocking nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I
But
will say, I can say I have seen a couple things, I've heard a couple things to be like, don't underestimate the average person.
right.
I mean, the elites can only have power for but so long when it comes to the foolishness that they have been doing, and a lot of things trying to make things acceptable. And I want to kind of go back to the song. Even if we don't put a focus on Alita Express, whether it being real or not, you think about so many things like the video for Yummy, where you have Justin Timberlake showing pictures of these kids and them talking about yummy. You see all of these elites and these high ups up at the table like they're feasting.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the song Bon Appetit with Katy Perry, and and when you look at the video, it of course there's subliminal messages in everything. There's subliminal messages. I want to say that part, and then some things are quote unquote a work of art.
Mm-hmm.
But there's hard for me to look at something when people are being served up in a video and then you're showing pictures of babies talking about yummy, yummy, and all these things, insinuating these dark, sinister things that it didn't mean something even more.
Yeah.
Um, what was the other song? Because I put that one up there. And what was the third one? I can't remember the third one, but I do know the fourth one I put up there people were confused by, and it was Sia's Elastic Heart. Now a lot of people will say, oh, it's about her father being an alcoholic and what she went through with him. All right, I'm not talking about the lyrics of the song. I'm talking specifically about the video.
The visual.
Because in that video, she said herself she wanted to make people uncomfortable. And if you notice, they're in a cage. It's her and Shia. It's the little dancer girl with Shia LaBeouf. And
Mm-hmm.
they're in these like nude leotards, and it's like this battle and back and forth. It's very eerie. And she wanted that feeling to be portrayed, and she wanted it to be portrayed for a reason. Now, as much as I love me some Sia, I haven't quite figured out is she a part of the problem or trying to solve the problem like Michael Jackson? And the reason why I
Yeah.
say that is because she did guard the girl, because the girl used to be on Dance Moms and she was very protective of her. So I'm hoping that she was protective of her in the good way and not protective of her in the bad way. And I just said Michael Jackson's name. And as we
Yep.
know, Michael Jackson was targeted over and over and over again. And no one can tell me different. I believe that he was trying to protect the children. I mean, Macaulay Culkin has said it so many times before, and Corey, what's his name? The
Corey's
actor.
brother from the Backstreet Boys.
No, 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 no. That's Nick. No, that's Nick Carter's brother. No, Corey from he's the actor from Lost Boys. Um, I can't think of his name. I suck at names, but you know him. I'll show him to you later. And she'll be like, "Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about." But for years, they have been saying that, Michael was the good guy. Then you have people like Steven Spielberg. There's a lot of little talk about him. It's a lot of talk about a lot of names I can name. Um, but it's interesting how they try to turn it around. And
You
speaking of Michael Jackson,
you know what's crazy with Michael Jackson is that I sincerely believe that this world did not deserve Michael Jackson because
mm,
from what I understand is that like they was like he was there to protect those girls, to protect those children, and he was like even if that meant him having to go undercover in situations like that. He was like the reason that he created Never Never Land was for that reason. That's why I
mhm,
set up to cater to kids to like have fun. Nothing's gonna hurt you here and things of that nature. But you want to know why people always targeted Michael Jackson? Because he was strange. He was a
mhm,
strange individual because of how he dressed, where he lived, and how it was set up and catered to. Oh, he's suspicious. Let's
Mhm.
blame all of these accusations on the man that's dressed like Captain Crunch. But now, you want to know who the real villains were? The Christian, quote unquote, Christian white men dressed in suits with
Them
ties.
evangelicals and them Christian nationalists.
The Christian nationalists. The quote unquote
They
Christian
it's gonna be
man.
hard to recover from that. I mean,
And,
like, and
and
I
I'm
know.
like, so y'all, this is one of those things where like the one that you would think is the obvious criminal is not is
Mm-mm.
the farthest thing from the truth. It's the ones that you don't even expect. That's the ones that's doing this disgusting, horrifying shit.
Mhm.
And I still say it. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. This world did not deserve Michael Jackson because everything he's done, like by helping people with cancer, helping children with cancer, doing toy drives, bulk of his money went to like helping kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And for y'all to try to take what's the word I'm looking for? A man's genuine life mission and
Corrupt it.
warp it
Or
into
try to
something
tarnish
disgusting
it.
and tarnish it and warp it because you don't understand his mentality of genuinely trying to help children. And that was his life, one of his life missions. And like, there's probably stuff y'all probably wouldn't have found out about what he did and foundations he set up to help protect and help children and all of that. And y'all still don't know.
Mhm.
But for y'all to, and then when you finally see who it really was, like, you're looking like,
Mhm.
that's how they get you. They blend in with everybody else.
Yeah.
I have no reason to think about this man in the suit gonna do anything to me. I'm still,
Or they're really funny and charismatic and everybody likes them like Ellen.
or like everybody
Or
Nickelodeon, man, that shit was
or
crazy.
mhm. And think about like that one right there was very telling as well with what went on with all those kids from Nickelodeon. You think about Amanda Bynes.
Mm-hmm.
That girl went through a lot. Think about Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've learned is that what happens to you if you don't comply to the foolishness, that's why we have a lot of one hit wonders. If you start to speak out about things, they either take you out the game or they label you crazy. Um, and we've seen it too much to just say it's a coincidence.
Yep.
And you have people who will make things a coincidence. But I'm gonna say this part because I forgot I didn't get to it. So me and this woman, I ain't gonna say I tussle with her in the comments, but I tussle a little bit in the comments, just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, just a little bit, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'm done with it. Especially when it's something foolishness. So it's two
Mm-hmm.
accounts of me tussling with some foolishness. First one was this lady, and she was focusing on a song, and she was like, "It's not real." Da da da. Da. So I'm like, what does it matter if it's real or not? If the song is not real, it does not make what has happened true. And she said, "There's no evidence of any of that being true."
You mean these files that we've been looking at is not
Yes.
true? You mean this
And after other people laying into her and saying, no, you're wrong. She's still talking about you got to believe anything.
and you don't believe enough,
So
it
when I
seems.
went down, so I said, let me look at your stuff. Let me see what you so you one of those daddy Trump type folks. I got you.
Got it.
If that ain't a kettle, if that ain't smoke calling something, I can't even. It's bad. I can't even get a
Kettle
comeback
calling the
emoji
skillet
today.
black.
No, because here's the thing: the skillet ain't the problem. So, I mean, clearly we not the ones who over here believe in anything, especially when you are a Trump supporter, a full blown Trump supporter. Actively right now can say you're a full Trump supporter with everything that has come out, and I'm not even talking about the Epstein files, just in general. And you are literally saying stuff like that. Hers, I said, honey, I get it. You are a part of the cult. Okay, move on. She's still saying y'all
You
believe
gotta
in him.
stop talking to them after that because that was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
there's
because
no
I was just like, now I'm gonna let you argue with yourself.
no
But
further
the set,
conversation here.
but now this one is about to get you, though, Terrence. You
Oh,
hadn't seen it yet. This one was on our page on IG.
okay.
IG is a very interesting place because I've been trying to see the comment and I can't see the full comment, and then I got searched because it was so many comments. And this one woman, bless her heart, is pretty. She can be Miss Blonde, just blonde and beautiful, American Dream. And I mean this not being funny. She's really a beautiful woman. But she proceeds to say that Trump went to all of Michael Jackson's trials and he was there and he is the one that told him about what was going on with the children. And that Trump was the good guy. I read that and I said, what in the fan fiction did I just read?
For real.
So
Real.
then my thumbs got to going. And I said, you ready for it, Terrence? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Trump's name is in there more than the Lord's name is in the Bible. Trump's name is in the Epstein files more than Harry Potter's name is being mentioned in all 7 books. How is he not a part of it? Like that's just how is he not?
You
Like
want to know
here's
what I
my
think?
thing. My thing, I mean, it was like I had to breathe for a second.
Yeah, you got brief for a
I
minute.
was
'Cause I was
just
like, nigga,
like,
what?
I was like, this goes back to that saying that people just want to dance. They don't want to listen to the music. They don't want to hear. They just want to dance.
Yep.
But it's just like I can't wait till we go back to our cult series because this is the prime example of it can smack you in your face. Be right here. He did it. And you still will say, no, he didn't. That's not even real. None of this is real. It's made up. Trump can come out and say, I did it, but I got away with it. He didn't do those things. You know, he's such a kidster.
Like, nigga, please, y'all
I
better
mean,
wake up. And this is another thing
and
I gotta
then,
say to all you
oh,
Trump supporters. All you
mm,
Trump supporters out there is still hanging on with the hanging on. Let me ask you a question. Y'all done seen all this stuff in the files because y'all not stupid. I know y'all done peeped it.
mhm.
Now you gotta really start asking y'all. We've said this before on this show. Now you gotta really start asking your questions on what am I supporting? What am I putting my support behind? Because for you to believe anything and
Mhm.
everything and not to think for yourself about what this man has done,
Yep.
and
It's
I'm
crazy
like,
work.
it's crazy work because now me and Sweets have always came to our conclusions about this. They too far down the rabbit hole to get back out, and they done drank too much of the Kool Aid that they're about to be on the other side.
They got to go down with the ship.
They got to go down with
They
the
got to
ship.
play the violin with
So
the
any more of y'all
Titanic
Trump
because
supporters that's still there, y'all gonna have to go down with the ship.
because
Just saying.
I mean, what more do you need? But here's the thing. Anybody who was a full-fledged Trump supporter and believed he was a good guy and voted for him the first time after the man told you where he would grab where if he likes a woman he would grab her after he humiliated a person who was disabled when he admitted that hey I feel like I could just pew pew somebody and I still people still vote for me and y'all did that first time y'all didn't find nothing
I
wrong with
keep
that
proving
y'all
them right.
and then the whole QAnon folks on that whole craziness of thinking he was coming to save the children. He the one you need to save the children from, and y'all still stayed on it. Y'all sat there, y'all went and destroyed the Capitol, all this foolishness to vote for him again. Voted for him again after his first, looking at his first election and what he did. I mean, and then not understanding we were under his crazy tax policy. Then now we under it again, and then y'all go and y'all do it after you see this. You voted the second time. That's crazy. To go and vote a third time, it is beyond insanity, and to still be you. There are things in those files that is it makes grape. I'm gonna say grape look like the light work. These aren't just PDF files. These are baby eating,
Blood
bestiality, cult
drinking.
rituals, Satan worshiping, everything you can think of, hunting people, baby farms, all kind of tortures, all the things. And his name is up and through, up and down, and around. And y'all still justifying him. Evangelical Christians. I'm just gonna say evangelical Christians because I know sometimes people are like, well, "What's the difference between evangelical Christian and a Christian nationalist?" They right now y'all all in the same,
Yeah,
but
I feel the same.
y'all not gonna recover from this because this and I mean, me and you are both believers in God. You
Yep.
know, Yahweh all day, Yahweh all day, Yahshua. Yes, Lord. Okay, but that foolishness is not what it means to praise him, to be a believer. But for y'all to have took your belief in the Lord and put it all in this man is insane.
Yeah, trying to connect it to him,
It
that
is
doesn't make any sense.
insane. And it proves when it says the breaking away of the church, this is the breaking away, the falling away of the church, this is it. But before I forget, mush face, tight face, Bondi, and freaking crazy eye Cash Patel set up there.
I can't watch it. It
Set
pisses me
up
off.
there
It pisses
and
me
was
off. I'm like,
carrying on like that. I said that you know who will be the I bet out of both of them
Lonnie
it's
gonna
crazy
be the
eye
first
Cash
one to
Patel.
get.
It'll be crazy eye Cash Patel that'll be the one to sing out of them. Because the way that Pam Bondi behind set up there. And then here's my thing. I mean, on this victory tour for Trump, talking about everybody need to apologize to him and all of this. And then for the freaking survivors to be behind her, and she couldn't apologize. She couldn't even look their
Couldn't
way.
even look at him, and I was like, it pissed me off too much. I couldn't watch it. I had to catch it in little sections because Jasmine gave her the business. I was like, Jasmine didn't get her like she wanted. You could tell she didn't get her like she wanted. But
Mm-hmm.
like
And
this chick was like, ma'am, you're here to answer questions. You're not
Mhm.
here to present more questions to us. This is not how this works. And then when they was getting at her, she started
Two
saying,
of them.
"How dare you, bitch!"
I know. Remember when she said, "How dare you talk about Christianity and use the Bible? How dare you insult it?" Trump got up there with a backwards Bible upside down,
Upside down.
and then decided to sell Bibles of his own. Are we forgetting about that?
Just
Are we
saying.
forgetting?
Did you?
Like, like I just have to just be like, what is this real? Is this a dream? Like, what kind of nightmare am I in? Like, what? Now, there's very few times you will hear me side with a Republican.
Mm.
There and Massing just became the second one because the first before that was Mitt Romney. And now I ain't talking about Mitt Romney that was running against Obama. I'm talking about the Mitt Romney who had to be under Trump, and he made it clear, I ain't with this. Was he a saint? Far from it. Was he right about a lot of things? No. But one thing is, McRomney stood on business, and that's the same thing that Masson is doing. He's standing on business. He make it real clear to you right now. I'm not about to be no Democrat. He said, I side with Republicans for was it 92% of everything. But that 8% that's backing up this foolishness, I will not.
Yeah,
And he laid into him as he should.
the house is
And
hard.
When we wonder, well, why aren't a lot of them, you know, coming against him, is because so many people have gotten their hands dirty with Trump alone. Before we even put the Epstein files aspect on it, they have gotten their hands dirty with him, that they're too entangled in it to speak up without basically sacrificing themselves. And then when you put what if them being a part of anything involving Epstein or any of the foolishness in the sex trafficking and human trafficking and just the PDF, just all of the horribles, they're not going to say things. But I'm gonna tell you who was like, "We about to go out guns a blazing." When them Clintons said, "We'll go ahead, we'll get up there," that
Ooh,
means they have said, "We don't care. We old now. Might as well." Because
yeah.
I mean, and once again, they not no saints either. And I always say it, and you have said it too. I don't care who you are. If you did any of the foolishness, you need to be gone. And I'm not gonna repeat it because I did say, well, I can kind of repeat it. I can kind of say what I said. I think that given how other countries have imprisoned, jailed, even executed some of their leaders for doing foolishness, America, you need to
Take some notes.
take some notes. My favorite lawyer and content creator, Hawk, he he said something that made some sense. He said it only take 3 to 4 publicly. It'll change a lot.
They'll
If you
change a
know what I
lot.
mean, you know what I mean, without saying it.
Yo, let my boy
Also,
Luigi out.
also,
I'm
also,
saying.
I remember I seen this movie one time. And in that movie, it was some kind of neurotoxin that they gave the person where it paralyzes them, but they're fully conscious and awake and they can feel everything happening to them, but they cannot move.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. But I think that is a good
I
idea.
think
Anyway,
time for
moving
another
on.
good dip.
That dang, whew, child, that crazy eye cash tail. Him sitting up there. And I cannot think of his name. The Asian Democrat, what's his name? God, I hate when I forget names. That is my downfall every time we're talking. I can't get the name. But he ain't playing no games. He was like, I believe you lied under oath. Straight
Yeah,
up like that.
I'm
Like
sleeping
and,
like, yeah.
and people forget that some of them are lawyers and not just any kind of lawyers, but excellent lawyers. So
Mhm.
they know what they're doing. And
You should
what we
stand under
did,
oath.
and what, and then let's not forget, uh, Lex what's behind just blah, 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 blah. Like y'all giving stuff, and that's why I say I think people, yes, we need to be enraged, we need to be upset, we need to be frustrated and pissed off because we have said for so many years, and this stuff was happening in our face, and it was being pushed in our face subliminally or intentionally or just under the radar, whatever you want to say, in all different forms of media, from some of our favorite TV shows to some of our favorite artists and their music. It was there. So, yes,
Mhm,
we should be upset that these evil, wicked people of this world have been doing these things, but
mhm.
justice will get served. It will. And I know it's hard for people to feel like it is going to happen. And I keep saying, stop saying, I don't think that's going to happen.
I say this. I say this. This something of this severity. I know we've seen a lot of crazy things, and technically, us as human beings in the United States, we're kind of desensitized to a lot of shit. But something of this nature
Mhm.
is not gonna go unpunished. If
It's
the
not.
powers that be don't do anything, best believe there's some folks out there that's gonna take it in their hands and do
Mhm.
it themselves. Come hell or high water. I've already said, I was like, they're saying that fears of, well, if we take all the people that are involved, this whole thing will shut down. So be
And
it.
that's not, she didn't really say that. So that statement wasn't true. And I hate that it wasn't true because it got spreaded around that she said that she didn't make that statement. But essentially, it would probably knock a whole bunch of them out, which is a good thing. Which would, I mean, we need to redo.
My logic
Literally.
is so be it. I mean, like,
Um,
because me and Sweet said in the beginning, we said, I don't care what party you involved in. If you was in there doing
mhm.
that shit, you deserve whatever's coming to you. And so I don't care if you.
After
I was
I'm
like,
'cause
we don't care if you in
mhm,
there.
like, even Obama himself,
Yep.
because that's what somebody like to say, "If Obama did something, then he need to go down." So, I'm glad I just said his name too. So, Ali Carter. Remember I've said there are there are some cracks in the base on that one
Hmm.
that I can't fully get behind all of it because of just some things, just like when it comes to Jaguar Wright. There's just a couple things that make me be like, with Jaguars, a lot that makes me be like, right? But when it comes to Alex, I know Ali did mention Obama's name, and she mentioned, I think, Denzel Washington. She's mentioned a lot of different things, but I think there is some mental illness there. But
Hmm.
I don't, and I could be wrong, and if I am, Lord forgive me, because I don't want to be that person, because I do believe some of her experiences are true. But I
Yeah.
do strongly believe if Obama has put his hands in something and got his hands so dirty that Trump felt like it was going to take eyes off of him,
He
they
would have
would
put
have
it in
had it
already.
broadcast.
It would have
That's
been
why
pushed
I'd be
out
like,
already.
huh?
He hate Obama with a passion. He take his picture down out of the White House
At night,
every
listen,
time.
at night, at least he Obama lived rent free in that man head. He been living rent free in that man head way before,
Since he left the White House.
before he entered. Well, Obama was in office. Remember when he was saying that he was illegal?
He's an illegal.
That he was saying that I need to see his birth certificate. I mean, he was hard on that back then. So, with all of that being said, it's like, honey, it's some very, very big black people were in there outside of Oprah.
Yeah. I
Cause I
believe
don't know why.
that the
Cause it was
bill,
Obama
like,
child. They didn't have it all over the place.
I believe that the Clintons are like, shit, we all going down there, we all go to jail, whoop dee doo.
Yep.
That's pretty much where they at. I was like, the Clintons are pretty much
They
at this
are.
point, like,
They
we all
are.
go to jail,
You
whoop
right
dee
about
doo.
that. You are right about that. They show, yep, because Clinton and there, both of them. Hillary done did some dirt too. Like, I'm not oblivious to that. I'm not sitting here I'm not turning not one cheek, because I might be a liberal. I might be an old Democrat, right? And I am a firm believer, if it's your way wagon, honey, you push the pull. It ain't mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But wrong is wrong. So when it comes to that, nah, I don't care who you are. So, like, even if it was Michael Jackson is my favorite artist, and you know this about me.
Mm-hmm.
That's my dude. If he was the villain that they want to make him to the gallows with him too. I mean, like, like, I'm not sitting here making no excuses, and that's the craziest part, is making these excuses. But when you hear people, not the crazy MAGA folk, well, they just giving us their secret desires probably. But when it comes to these ones who y'all got your hands dirty, y'all got your hands dirty for power, like, and I'm glad that we are talking about with the whole thing with Trump and some of these things, because, like, I said this to you and I say it again. I am 60-40 on if we're really going to war with Iran, and my
Mm-hmm.
60 is that we're not. The 40 is that because of Israel and them basically being the puppet masters to a lot of
That's the 40
strings,
that want it.
that, huh?
That's the 40% that want it, don't they?
No, 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 no. When I say 60-40, I'm talking about me per se. In my mind right now, 60% chance we're not going to war. We're not going to war with Iran. 40% of me is like, we could. And when I say we could, is because of Israel holding those puppet strings. But that 60% is, we have had several years of studying Trump and
Mm-hmm.
how he gets down. And Trump is he's a big talker.
Yep.
And if it's not his infamous 2 week thing, because once he says the 2 weeks thing, he's never really gonna do whatever he says unless his back is against the wall and then he just does some little crazy little thing and then hopes that it just goes over. And prime example is for the longest we thought we were going to be at war with Venezuela. Like full, I mean, things are happening. Let me not say things are not happening, but to the degree of what it was trying to be portrayed, it wasn't. He was making it sound like he was going to do what? Take over Greenland. He has not
Like,
taken
what
over
the hell are
Greenland.
you messing with Greenland for? And you keep confusing Greenland with Iceland
Yeah.
all the
So
damn time.
because of, here's the funny thing, they're actually reversed. Greenland is icy, Iceland is not. But anyway, um, when it comes to a lot of the things that Trump does do, is we have to remember he talks a good game, and even the game that he talks, those who think logically can, read between things that he can do and he can't do, right? And there's some things that he's been getting away with, but even that has showed that he can only get away with but so long. So with the whole let me distract people, he says something to incite fear and get worried to take people's minds off of him, right? And that's why I say I had that strong 60 of, if you can get people worried that we're about to go to war with Iran and that it might be very bad, because Iran has made it clear that they ain't trying to miss. And given the whole thing with the nuclear warheads and them saying that they moved it, so many possibilities to mess with people's heads, right? Just like, I mean, they had NATO. Trump had NATO over there ready for as soon as they touch foot over there in Greenland and get it popping. So, like, he's doing all of these things. And yes, he is a loose cannon, but he does more talking than he does actions on a lot of things. Now, as much as he has been ranting and just raging and furious and steam's coming from his nose, his eyes, and his ears right now because of the the Supreme Court and their ruling about the tariffs, right? But I feel like secretly Trump is like, I'm glad they put a stop to my tariffs because I just figured out I'm screwing myself over more by making tariffs because we paying for them.
Yep.
So I mean, believe it or not, I do that. Believe there's a part of him saying, "Well, now I can say, well, I had to stop my tariffs because of the Supreme Court, not because it ain't working."
I
So
know,
even
right?
with
I was like,
all
let me
of
see
that,
this man keep
the
playing
man
this.
challenging him is upset that someone told him no.
Yep.
But the relief is there is he don't have to push that narrative. Um, but I do think that it's a 60-40. And I mean, my 60-40 may change in the coming week with, more developments on it. And it might shift, to a good 70-30. But right now, given how things are going, and because he's talking about everything and anything. When we were about to go to war in Iraq, Bush and them focused on that. They did not have time to be focused on everything else. When he did that State of the Union or whatever that bogus I don't even know what they beat him. I don't even know if we have State of the Union anymore, to be honest with you. But when he got up there and he was speaking, he was focused on tariffs. But I just feel like if you were potentially about to go to war, you would be putting emphasis on it. You would be talking and discussing of what you would tell the American people. But I mean, I know times have changed, but I do think that this is a part of the smoke and mirrors. I mean, I do believe Iran is just waiting for the right shot,
Yeah.
literally, physically, mentally, and all. But yes, I do think that time will tell on a lot of it. But when it comes to the files, as gruesome as it is, I do recommend people please don't sit and just read a lot of it. Because Terrence, I know you went and you listened to the audio.
Yeah.
Um,
That fucked me up
because
pretty
it can
badly.
really mess with your mental. And this is one of the very few times I would say if you can't stomach a lot of that, because Bailey, she's a very popular content creator, especially on YouTube. She has the sha sha, and she does the makeup, the mystery, the makeup and true crime. She does her makeup.
Mhm.
Um, this has took a toll on her real bad, to the point, she made that statement. She's like, "Listen, I'm not suicidal because you start digging, stuff start happening."
Yeah,
But you could tell it was taking a toll on her and a lot of other content creators I've seen who have been real real messed up by this, because it is some harsh and graphic things in there, things that you can't even imagine, that some of the most goriest movies doesn't even think to portray. And that's why I said I think people take a step back from it if you have to.
yep,
Don't forget it, don't overlook it. Like I mentioned earlier, that human trafficking has been going on for a long time. It's time to make people aware of the different forms of it and how it happens so you can protect yourself and your loved ones. Because right now, even if you're not a person who's comfortable getting in front of a camera and telling people about these dangers or some of those things that's in the files, you can do your part by finding out how can you prevent you and your loved ones and others being human trafficked. Because when you look at it, most of everything in there, that's where it started. It starts from human trafficking. Um, because it's designed to a lot of this is designed to really get us up and ramped up. And somebody was trying to say they just want us to make a whole bunch. Here we go. Here it goes. Be ready for it, Terrence. Basically, this was released because they want to create a whole bunch of chaos. Because if we create chaos and we go in the streets and we try to burn it down, it's going to cause martial law. And because of martial law, Trump will be able to stay president and he won't have to worry about the midterm elections. And guess what? He won't talk about Epstein files. It always leads to it.
yep.
So that's the consensus. So before you have any kind of mental breakdown as people, I think you have to take a step back and be like, okay, this is going on, this is happening. People have suffered, children, innocent babies, you name it, have suffered. I will not be silenced
If that's
because
not
not.
enough of a reason for y'all to get up, get out, and keep spreading the word about these files,
Hmm.
I don't know. I can't speak for your humanity, but I don't know what else to tell you. If this is not enough
Hmm.
from what you've already seen, what you've already read, what you've already heard, if that's not enough, if that's not enough for you as a human being with conviction and a heart, I
Hmm.
don't know what else to say for you. You cannot be that desensitized.
We can't.
You can't.
We have to, and we can't let them win. So that's why I will say it now, and I will say it again, and I will continue to say it again. Is what side of history do you want us to be on? Because right now we are living history. People are going to look at this and they're going to be like, when we were under effects, let me not even go there. When the world was at its darkest time and it was revealed of some of these things that were going on, what was your part? Do you want to be a person who was just, all right, well, I'm going about my life, or did you try to do something? And I'm not saying doing something crazy and radical. It doesn't have to change does not have to be you going and burning it all down. Does not have to be doing something to unalive other people to be a part of the change, but not doing anything, not saying anything, or not holding people accountable is not what you want to do. Um And this, I mean, we probably could talk about so much of this until our faces turn black and blue because it's a lot. Um, but like I said, I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep talking about it, and I mean, I feel like, and you know how I am. You know, I'm an old nerdy old teacher, and I
Yep.
love knowledge and research. Is start picking them one by one and doing a whole focus
Mm.
breakdown on that person
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
and do it on each one of them and connect the dots to the next one. Cause I got time. Well,
We got time to
technically, I don't quite have the time because I gotta go teach some children. I gotta teach some children ABCs and one, two, threes.
I got
But
the time. I got time.
I know, but the weekends I am free. Anytime after 4 o'clock, I can.
I
But
get that.
and then when I got a whole summer, whew, when I say I will do a deep dive on a person, I will start
It's a
with them and
cruel,
break them down. Because
cruel
here's the thing,
summer.
and make it known. And it gets ugly because sometimes it's your faves. Sometimes it's your favorite people. They be out here. They be out here in
Mhm.
them streets.
Yeah.
So it will get better.
I
It will
believe it.
get better. We got to go through the hard part. This is the fullness of when they talk about, people's eyes being open.
Mhm.
We need more eyes open. But
Yeah.
on that note, that's all I got.
Imma put it to you like this, those that are still, quote, unquote, "on the fence," you're gonna have to start asking yourself some hard questions like,
Hmm.
"Where's your conviction? Where's your heart?" Because when it comes to things of this nature, there should be no debating about it. For those that wanna help, just keep talking about it on your social medias, keep posting about it, keep the word going because that's the first step to passing it along. Somebody catches on up, somebody repost it. Somebody repost it, somebody sends it, somebody
Hmm.
puts it up, somebody talks on it.
Keep spreading it.
For those, and this is kind of where I'm at, for those that want to burn it all down, stay on standby just in case, because if they don't do nothing, then y'all know what to do.
Hmm.
I'm like Seth freaking Rollins with that one. Ooh, burn it down. But that's just me. But yeah, I think I hit everybody. And for y'all to still believe in this bullshit, y'all enjoy that Kool-Aid, but just know what side of history you're gonna be on when it's all said and done.
Hmm.
And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
And this has been another episode of the Artist and the Thinker podcast.
Peace.